Hello everyone, this is Eric Fares here with my new series, which is going to be called How to Make a Comic Book. Now, this will be split up into sections. Each section will be about a certain topic of making a comic book. Now, the first section, which you're watching now, is writing. Now, the reason I'm splitting it up is just so that if you want to be just the writer, this section will be for you. If you want to be the penciler, I'll have the next section. Inker, the next section, and so on. I will be showing you from start to finish the process. Excuse me. I do apologize about any strange things like, one, if the audio sounds a little robotic, I have no idea why it's doing that. It just doesn't seem to want to stop doing that. Also, when I randomly clear my throat, no matter how many times I clear my throat before a video, I always end up clearing my throat during the video, so I do apologize for any of that. Also, if it's slightly slowed down or laggy, it's just recording on my computer. I have a really crappy laptop. It's just terrible. Also, marvel at my awesome Iron Man background. Found this online. It's just so awesome. So yeah, let's just get right into the main part. I do have a story kind of written out here, just a short one, just to kind of give you ideas. Now, before I go, I will explain. When you're a writer, when you're writing a comic book, and just to let you guys know, if you're a manga artist or you want to be a manga creator, this will work for you because guess what? Manga is a form of comics. It is a comic book. It's comic books. It's just Japanese stylings. So this can work for you as well. Now, sorry. When you're writing a comic book, you have to keep in mind certain things. For instance, you may notice a lot of older comic books, and even comics today, they can go on for a very long time. They can have very long stories, and especially Americanized comic books never seem to have an end, really. They can go for 200 issues and never seem to end. Well, even though they don't seem to end, they do have an end written. That's one of the biggest important things about a comic book, is that when you first start writing your idea, you have to have a beginning and an end. The middle part you can kind of extend as much as you feel you can or need to, but you do have to have an eventual end to your story. Even if it's just a rough idea of an end that you can obviously mess with depending on how your story progresses, you still need an end. Especially if you're trying to submit and be a writer for a comic book company, they want to know that you can put down complete ideas. So always keep that in mind. Now here I made a really short detective style story. I typed it up on Notepad. It has it's basically the full plot outline. It's going to be very short. That way I don't have to spend a lot of extra time trying to figure things out. I can literally just write it down for you and get you guys going. So this is basically kind of some random ideas I threw down. It's a detective comic with a dark styling. Main character's name is John Smith. It's in New York City, 2025, so I'm putting it a little bit in the future so I can kind of fudge with how things look. He's a police officer. He's not a superhero, he's just an officer. He's a tough guy, he has sarcastic humor, he has dark presence but a kind soul, so that just kind of speaks to him. Here I have the villain, who is Big Boss Man. And then I have this guy named Jimmy, which I'm thinking of making his partner. Make Jimmy the the young partner. This is the plot outline. Detective Smith is investigating a murder. He finds clues that may tie Big Boss Man to the murder. He follows up on the evidence, and it leads him to Big Boss Man's clients, who tell Smith that Big Boss Man's HQ is at the docks. Smith goes down to the docks to confront Big Boss Man, or in here I put Boss Man for short, finding a small group of his henchmen guarding. Fight breaks out. A lot of action. Smith is able to rid the area of the goons and now faces Boss Man one-on-one. They have a hand-to-hand fight. Smith is able to overpower Big Boss Man and arrests him. The end. And that's basically the entire story that we're going to be working on here. Now, when you get your ideas down, you literally just want to do it just like this. Just throw down all ideas that you get. You can write it on paper, which I would suggest doing that. Before you type it up, I would do it on paper. That way you can kind of draw ideas, erase ideas, and kind of fudge with things a little bit. Just get the basic idea down. Get the character down that you want. Get all this information down. That's what you want to do. You want to get as much information down as you possibly can for your story. Obviously, obviously this is a one-shot. One shot in the comic world means it literally is just a single story. It begins and it ends. Those are one shots. And that's what this is going to be. It's going to be a one shot. So I'm going to actually put one shot here. Oh, no, I don't want to save you, actually. Actually, yeah, let's save this. We will save this. Where do we want to save this? I'll put it in pictures, comics. Let's just make a folder called, let's just call it The Detective for now. Just to give us something to work off of. And we'll call this plot outline. There we go. So now we have the plot outline. Now, the next possible things you would do is you would start fleshing out the characters a little bit more, like who John Smith is, what he would look like, that kind of idea. And that'll be the next thing I'm going to show you here is how to kind of write a quick character description. So I will go and set that up, and I will be right back. Alright guys, welcome back. As you can see here, I've written up character descriptions for John Smith and Boss Man, who I'm calling his real name, Boris Ivanovich. I'm basically making him Russian, just because I think it'd be kind of cool. For John Smith, as you can see, I've given, and this is something you really want to do. You want to put like a lot of the details, like age, height, weight, body type, hair color, eye color. Here I put personality, and then I put attributes, which are just things that you'll notice about the character, like right away while you're seeing it. So for John Smith, you'll see, you know, he's a square face, usually smoking, short hair, constant 5 o'clock shadow. So he doesn't really keep very well, but he shaves just often enough that his hair doesn't grow a full beard. He wears a trench coat covering most of the body, with a black shirt underneath, no tie, black pants. So it's a lot of dark colors. That's why I love doing a lot of dark colors. And for the art section, it'll just make it a little easier later on. He also doesn't wear a hat, which I know a lot of noir style comics, they always have the detective in like a kind of a hat, but I don't really like doing that right now. Boris, same thing. He's very tall, very heavy, and very built. He's a big dude. I mean, he's like a big bodybuilder, you know. And I'm giving him yellow eyes just to kind of accentuate the creepiness. As you see, his personality, I just put cruel, headstrong, unforgiving. Just like with him, I just put tough, strong-willed, sarcastic, but he's a kind soul, but he has a dark presence to him. Attributes for Boris, tall, square face, scar over left eye. I think it's always good to put some kind of cool attribute of something distinguishing him, you know, really setting him off, and I think a scar always is a cool thing for a villain. He's combed back hair, wears black suit and tie with black shoes, and he carries a sword. I didn't want him carrying a cane. No, that would be too wussy. I want him carrying a sword all the time. So he's going to be carrying, I think I'm going to make it a katana, actually. So let me just put katana. Alright, so this is the character descriptions. You want to write character descriptions for every character who is important. Obviously, certain characters, like background characters, like some of the police officers, they're not as important. You know, you can kind of just leave them out and then just draw them on site on the paper. But any of the main characters who are going to be showing up a lot should be done in this kind of way with good character descriptions to kind of detail out who they are and that kind of idea. So it's just always good to have them on hand, and you can always look back on them to kind of look at him and say, okay, what's he supposed to look like, all that kind of stuff. When I get into the drawing stage, I will be drawing them out and designing them. So, but I won't do that in this video. I'll do that in the drawing video, which the first drawing video will just be penciling, so that'll kind of be the first part of that. Now, next I'm going to quickly show you how to format a script. So I will be back in a moment to show you that part. Alright guys, I want to show you here real quick a really cool website. I will leave a link in the description. This is a really cool thing on how to format a comic book. It basically just shows you how to do the scripting part for a comic book. Now, other parts of the site have other types of scripting and writing and stuff like that, but this part I just want to focus on just because it is about script writing. It basically just kind of gives you a nice little overlay on how it should be formatted and all that kind of stuff, which I like, and it kind of tells you the different things like sound effects and transitions, and it's really useful. If I find any other links, I will link them in the description. But for now, I just wanted to show you this kind of cool, this one, since I have it open anyway. So I have a script partially for page 1 written, so let's go to that. This program is called Celtics, as you can see here. It's a free program. You can get the download for it. I will leave a link to where you can download it in the description, and it allows you to do scripts. And you can actually have it so the script, when you, like, let's open a new project, you can actually tell what you want your script to be formatted like. And one of the formats here is comic book. So everything here is for a comic book. As you can see, it's page 1. You hit enter, it goes to panel 1. You write what the panel information will be. And then you can have a caption. You can also do character and all that kind of stuff, balloon types and balloons and all that. But a lot of times you just need the basic information. But here I did page 1 for the detective, that's all we're going to call it for now. Panel 1, a bird's eye view of New York, dark ambience. Caption. Now, captions are the square parts of a comic book. In fact, I could probably just do a quick search. This probably wouldn't even take too long. Of course, my internet's running slow today. Let's just look up a comic book page. If my computer would like to be fast today. Let's see. That doesn't have captions. Let's just find I guess this one does have captions on it, so let's just show you here. Of course, it's very fucking small. Alright, these square parts here are called captions. Captions are what the narrator is telling you. Now, the narrator can be you, the author, or it could be a character that you are using. But this is captions. These area here are dialogue balloons. They point to whoever's talking. These are thought balloons, which, as you can see, they point to the person who the thought's coming from, but they do it in a way that you can tell with like circles and dots and stuff like that. So that's what those are. So that's basically what a caption is. So that means this would be in a square, just a box, not a word balloon. Okay, so basically says, I've seen, and you can kind of read this, he just kind of monologues about a lot of things he's gone through, like, I've seen a lot in my long years of being alive. I'm trying to use slang just to make it seem like shorthand of how he would talk, so that's kind of gives you an idea here. So panel 1, he's like, things I can see make the man go crazy, and then there's a shot of him on the rooftop standing, looking down on the city, smoking a cig, heavy shadows, highlight of the smoke trail. When you describe the panel, you want to describe as much information as you possibly can for the artist to draw from. Even if you are the artist, you still want to leave enough information that you can go back and know what you were talking about. Like bird's eye view of New York City. That's kind of simple. There's not a lot of information that needs to really be there. But something like this, where it's a shot of a rooftop and he's standing there looking down at the city, smoking a cigarette, heavy shadows, highlight of the smoke trail. So I'm really giving a lot of detail of what the scene should look like. And then I put another caption. Quick little note here. As you can see, I have 5 panels. A comic book page should probably be within, I think 5 is a little short for a page. I just kind of did that just for the starting. You can make it as many number of panels as you want, but you normally want to keep it within, I would say, let's see, 5 to 8. You really don't want any less than 5 unless you absolutely have to, like if it's a really important thing you want to do. I would even go as much as say as don't have less than 6. You want a lot of information. You want to really keep the panels and pages working. But you don't really want more than 8, because any more than 8 and you're kind of cluttering the page with small panels that have very little information. You want to really find a good balance. Now in this one, 5 works out perfectly for what I'm doing here. And as you can see, each panel, close-up of shot of John, heavy blacks, only showing part of eyes, smoke trail, highlights, outline of his face, and I have a lot of information here. These are sound effects. You put them in the panel information. I put them in bold, which you should too. Like this one, John looking down at pocket, phone ringing. You can see the sound effect, ring ring. They don't have to be anything really like fancy. Even here, he's looking at his phone, and it's casting light on his face slightly. Sound effect for beep, meaning he's probably hitting buttons or something. And that's page 1. I will only do one page here just to show you how this is going to work. And when I do the artwork, I will only be doing this page. You basically want to, this is another detail, is you want to keep your books, every issue or chapter or whatever, even if you're doing a manga style, every chapter should be a certain amount of pages. You want to keep a book within 22 to like 30 pages. So you really want to keep that in mind when you're writing a story. 22 to 30 pages. That is a good range for how long a chapter or issue should be. It's a good idea for that. Also, for a cover page, the cover page is a different kind of aspect that you want to think about. So remember that the cover page will probably be separated from this. Also, thing you should understand is what a splash page is. A splash page, for writers, all you really need to know is that a splash page is one single page where it's an image that takes up the entire page. It's basically one panel. It's just one big page. It'll be one big image. You can also have what's called a double spread, which takes up 2 pages, and they should be seamless in the middle, and it should look like one image when folded out. That's all I really want to talk about for the writing stage. The next part I will talk about is the penciling and art stage. I will probably show you the character designs, kind of how to go along that line. The penciling stage I might split up even into 2 sections. One will be for character designs, and then the other one will be for actually penciling a page with roughs and all that stuff. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will definitely save this. I will leave all links in the description for you guys, and you guys can copy this script if you want. That's why I'm leaving it up for so long. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you. I'm going brain dead for a moment here. Thank you for watching. Please look out for my next video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.